Do you have questions about getting your Social Security while you're living in the Philippines? Stick around and we'll take a look at it. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. With so many people looking to relocate here to the Philippines, there's been a lot of questions lately on Facebook forums about Social Security while you're living here. So I thought I would go over a few things that I might be able to share. First thing is, you can get your Social Security while you're living in the Philippines. You can get Social Security in all countries. I think there's only a small list of countries that you can't get your Social Security in. Some are easier than others. The Philippines is definitely an easy one to take care of. In fact, before I get too far, we have a Social Security office here at the embassy in Manila. And it has been closed during the pandemic. It's still closed right now. I expect it to open back up here soon. And you can do appointments and walk-ins. I've done that myself, just did a walk-in when I was there with a friend. Answer questions or even like file for your Social Security. So with that said, the different types of Social Security, there's 4 basic types. You have your regular Social Security retirement, which is what most of us probably are thinking about. And that definitely you can get while you're here in the Philippines. Now, there's also Social Security Disability Insurance, or SSDI. You can receive that while you're here. One problem that comes up with that is that sometimes they require a evaluation, a doctor's visit to keep your claim going or to verify your claim. And sometimes people don't get those done on time, or they don't have an authorized doctor take care of it. And they will hold your payments until you take care of that with them. Apparently, most of the doctors for that are in the Manila area, so you would have to travel to Manila and see one of those doctors to take care of that. So definitely keep that in mind if you're looking at drawing Social Security disability. Another one is survivor benefits. You can get those while you're here also, if you qualify. There are certain things in order to qualify for that, and I believe the problem comes up with whether or not you're a citizen or possibly a green card holder, and then you come back to the Philippines, whether or not you're able to actually get your Social Security here or not. So you definitely have to work with Social Security Administration about that you're qualified for that. Okay, but in most cases, you're able to draw that while you're here. And one other is SSI. Now, SSI is Supplemental Security Income, and you cannot draw that when you live outside of the United States. They will put that on hold after you've been gone for 30 days. And you can't receive that again until you go back to the U.S. and check in with Social Security over that. So don't get that one confused. I've seen a lot of people say that they have SSI, and they think that that means Social Security income, and it's not. So they'll say, I've got SSI, I live in the Philippines, and then they get into arguments because you can't have that while you're here. Well, it was because they're using that acronym in the wrong way. So keep that in mind. Regular Social Security doesn't have an acronym, so it's I call it, when I'm talking to people, regular Social Security or Social Security retirement or something like that, so that we're clear about what we're talking about. So anyway, those are what you can and cannot do. It's pretty easy to set up an account here with a bank. If you want to have your Social Security done here, a lot of people do, a lot of people don't. I think because of the details that are involved with that, I should do a separate video on just how to set up for banking here for Social Security, because there's some requirements. It requires a special account. It's not that difficult, and I do it myself. I like having it sent to my bank here because I don't have any ties left in the United States at all. I don't keep an address, phone numbers there, anything like that. So that's one area that you should hear all the information so that you can make a decision on how you want to do it. You know, whether transfer money over or just have your Social Security direct deposited here. So again, I'll do a separate video for that, so this one doesn't get too long. Myself, I was able to apply for my Social Security while living here in the Philippines. I came here when I was 55. I haven't been back to the U.S. since. So I turned 62 here a little over a year ago, and I started drawing my Social Security here. And it was real easy to do. Nothing hard about it. The hardest part was just waiting because it takes some time. And the way that worked, I'll give you a little time frame on it. My birthday is early January. So you can apply 90 days ahead of time, and you apply online. If you go to your, if you don't have an account already, you probably want to set up a My Social Security account. Just search My Social Security, and you have an online account, and you can see what your the amounts that you're going to get. You don't have to be drawing your Social Security in order to have this account. You can start it ahead of time. And anyway, there's a lot of good information there, and then there's a link there in order to do your online application, which is probably the best way to do it. So did that online. Within about a week or two, I got an email from the Social Security office here in Manila for a phone interview that would take place sometime, I guess, in November, mid-November. And so I was ready for that, had the phone interview. My case was real easy, real straightforward to do. I didn't have any, strange details that they needed extra paperwork for or anything like that. Some people do have that go on. But anyway, you're going to deal with the Social Security office here in Manila when you do that. So you'll be sending documents back and forth, most likely online, so you'll need to have access to a scanner so you can scan and send your documents. Okay. And so then the phone interview went great. He helped with all the questions I had, went through a lot of the details of it, and also about what bank you're going to want to know what bank you want to send it to. Do you want to send it to your U.S. bank, or do you want to have it direct deposited here? And they'll set you up with the forms for that. They also have a special letter that they give, authorization letter, endorsement letter, that you take to the bank here, and you have no problem getting a bank account when you have this endorsement letter. Okay, some people have problems getting bank accounts here. They want permanent resident, different things. Some people have a hard time, some people don't. But anyway, they give you this endorsement letter, and it's no problem at all. They will open an account for you. So anyway, I'll go into that more with the next video on the banking. So other than that, then they sent my package off to the US, and it goes to the office there. They go through it, and like I said, the hardest part was just waiting. This was first applied first week of October. Phone interview was mid-November. And so my birthday comes and goes. Now you're not eligible in that first month, because unless you're like on the 1st or something like that. But if your birth date is like the 10th or the 15th of the month, that month doesn't count. So you're not eligible for that month of your birthday. So the next following month for me was February. You have one full month that you're eligible, and then you don't get paid till the next month. So the earliest I could get a check was the 3rd of March. And that's another thing, if you are using a Philippine address for your Social Security, you will be paid on the 3rd of the month Where nowadays in the US, it depends on your birthday. You get it on the second Wednesday, third Wednesday, fourth Wednesday, things like that. Everybody here gets theirs on the third. So the 3rd of March comes and goes, and I didn't get my first check deposited until March 19th, I want to say. So, 2 weeks or so it was late. So it really wasn't all that bad. But like I said, there's about 5 months there waiting. And that's just the hardest part when you've waited and waited and waited to get your everything going. One other thing, if you use a Philippine address, they will send what they call, why they call it this, the drop dead letter. You may have heard of that. It's basically a proof of life. And they send this out. They'll send it twice in the year. And if you don't get it back to them by January 1st, they will stop your payments. There's ways to fix that. There's a lot of ways to make sure you get it and get it back to them. Probably should do a separate video on that one also, because there's a few details there you're going to want to know. So now I got 2 videos I need to do to follow this up. I promise I'll get those out. Getting windy. It's also getting hot. It's mid-March now. Temperatures are going up, so you'll be able to trade your blankets for sweat towels here anytime now if you start coming over. Other than that, like I said, getting your Social Security here is not a problem at all. You don't have to wait. Like I said, I came here 6 years before I could get my Social Security, and it was no problem. So you don't have to wait. If you're just waiting in the U.S. to start your Social Security, you don't have to do that. You can come on over, start enjoying life, start getting your Social Security when you're eligible. All right, so there's the few things I have, and again, I will promise to get these videos out about the banking and the drop dead letter. All right, I'll see you all real soon. Bye.